really looking forward to this session here. I, again, don't know anything about the metaverse, really. So it's very interesting to see how this works with business applications in the Power Platform. And I'm going to hand over to Kasun to talk us through it. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Amish. Yeah, so we're going to talk about business applications with Metaverse. So after today's session, so hopefully you'll get clear on some of the doubts on the Metaverse. And I'll try to make sure that you get clear their doubts and get some kind of to clear out like what are the options and opportunities that's available with the business, with exactly the business applications and the Metaverse. So I'm going to talk about all the business applications in the Microsoft side and what are the relevant Metaverse applications that we have. So we're going to open up a lot of opportunities and you can see a lot of opportunities which will come up with the Metaverse in the future and currently as well. So hopefully we'll get into the session. So let me introduce myself as well on the next slides. Let's go into the next. Yeah, so business applications with Metaverse. So that's going to be discussing today. So it's actually the Metaverse is the future of human connection, basically, right? And you can see, I think this is basically from the dynamics. If you work with the guides, the remote assist and stuff like that, so you can see this as well. So we'll get into those details as well. And so let me introduce myself. So I'm Kasun Pathirana. I'm a solution architect, currently working at D365 at HSO. So I'm a solution architect at D365 at HSO. And I got 11 years of experience with FinOps as well as Dynamics AX, and experience working with the CE as well as the Power Platform as well. And then also active in the Dynamics and Power Platform communities. And I'm a community organizer as well for the Sri Lankan communities. So if you want to get connected with me, you can link with me the QR code. So you have the QR code and you have YouTube as well as I have got the YouTube. So it's called 365 bits and same Twitter and the website as well. So if you want to get connected, because some of the blogs I will also write in 365 bits, so you can get updated as well. So that's about myself, and I'm also playing cricket as well. So I play for Grafton. It's next door there. So I'm an avid fan of cricket. So I used to play a lot of cricket and still as well. So running and hiking as well. So that's about me, bit about me, and let's go to the agenda. So what we have. So we have the agenda. So agenda is what is Metaverse, and I'm going to talk about what's the Metaverse and what are the options that we have on the Metaverse and what is industrial Metaverse. So that's what I'm going to focus on, mostly on the industrial Metaverse. And then the key contributors for the Metaverse success. So I want your help as well to come up with what are the key contributors. So I have a list of key contributors, and I want you to vote and tell me what are the key contributors that you're thinking in terms of the Metaverse, right? And then Metaverse building blocks. What are the building blocks of Metaverse, right? We can separate out into different blocks and what are the key factors on that building blocks. And the Metaverse ready business applications. So when you're talking about business applications, what are the key drivers that we need to think about when it's move into the Metaverse, right? Because we need to link with ERP, CRM, a lot of applications, and what we need to think about, what are the business, how we can get our applications get ready to move to the Metaverse, right? And Metaverse use cases and also challenges posed by the Metaverse. So that's the other one, right? What are the challenges posed by the Metaverse as well? So that will be also key as well, right? Right. Let's go into the Metaverse. So this is about the Metaverse. So just an introduction. So where it started, basically. So if you know where it started, it's actually started with the snow crash. So that's actually a novel. So that's written by, I guess, Neil Stephenson. So in 1992, so that's where he introduced the Metaverse word, and that's where it came into the picture. And I think in 2018, 19, that word got popular because of the NFTs and other enhancement that got really popular. So that you, sorry?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So the NFTs is basically, if you talk about the NFT is a non-fungible token. And you have, so let's think about like you have some images or assets or anything that you want to kind of membership that you want to give as a like tokens, right? So you decide like you give 1,000 tokens for somebody, right? And then you bring these 1,000 tokens and you put it into a kind of a blockchain and put that code into the blockchain and you put it there. And then you can, let's say, for an example, you have like images that you want to send it out. So you put it as images, and then that would be actually your NFT, like non-fungible tokens that you can sell as a membership, or it can be anything that you can think of in terms of NFTs, right? That's how it got popular, basically, the metaverse.
Very old school. Could you say the word NFT lengthwise? What does NFT mean?
Non-fungible tokens.
Non-fungible
tokens.
Non-fungible.
Yeah, and non-fungible tokens. Fungible, non-fungible tokens.
What's the word fungible? I've never heard the word fungible before.
Yeah.
Can somebody explain to me what fungible is? A new word.
It's a new word, yeah.
I have no idea what the word fungible is. I've never heard of it. That's why I'm confused on mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Replacement by similar,
Sorry?
replacement by a similar item.
Yeah.
More confused.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
So-
costs you $20 to sell.
yeah, basically it means that if you want to tokenize your items, let's say like you have let's say you have membership that you want to give out to somebody, so you can put it into a blockchain kind of. You can think of it's a blockchain that it's kind of giving a membership to somebody. So if they own that token, that they have that ownership of it. So I buy that token from a website, and then I have that ownership. But you are giving that membership, so you are the company. You are giving them membership, and I'm buying it, right? So if I purchase it, I buy a token from you, and the best part is it's a digital wallet. And then I have that luxury of when I connect to the website, I will be directly connecting to the website through that digital wallet. And then I'm buying it directly. So basically, yeah, that's a concept. Yeah.
Because I think that's quite key to understanding what the metaverse is, because to me, the
Yeah.
metaverse is just a bunch of data something. That's
Yeah. It's only a part of it. If you talk about Web 3.0, it's actually Web 3.0 is part of the NFT. Yeah. So I'll come into it and I'll clear some of the doubts later on as well, because
Appreciate it.
there are a lot of other stuff as well. It's Web 3.0 is just a part of it. Yeah. Okay. And if you heard about the metaverse, do you think it's only virtual reality? Is the metaverse? Or do you think is there anything else part of the metaverse?
I know of Second Life. That's a reality.
So if you think about the virtual reality, it's because there's a huge misconception. Virtual reality is the metaverse. It's not. Because if you think about AR, augmented reality, virtual reality, and everything is part of that metaverse, basically, right? So,
An ecosystem.
sorry?
It's like an ecosystem.
Yeah, it's kind of technologies connected together.
Like 2 degrees at the moment, you can chase a big Hudakis.
Yeah. So it's like remote assist as well, right? If you're working with a field technician kind of thing, and you get a technician support from a call, and you're wearing a HoloLens and you can see their supporting. So it's like you getting the immersive nature of it, right? That's the thing. Yeah. So when you bring that immersive part of it with virtual reality or augmented reality, then that becomes a metaverse, right? Yeah. So that's how the metaverse comes into picture. But yeah, there's a whole lot of things we can discuss later on. So I'll have some videos as well, so you'll get more into that. So it's not about what I'm trying to say. It's not about virtual reality. It's about virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, and some other components as well, right? So that's the thing we need to clear out here.
Metaverse.
Yeah.
You've probably started to hear this word being thrown around lately. If you're lost, you're in the right place. Here, we'll try to answer some big questions from Microsoft's point of view. What is a metaverse? Does it already exist? And are you already in it? Let's dig in. Simply put, a metaverse is a digital space inhabited by digital representations of people, places, and things. Think of it like a new version or maybe a new vision of the internet. Many people talk about the internet as a place. Now we can actually go into that place to communicate, share, and work with others. It's an internet that you can actually interact with, like we do in the physical world. And it's not just a vision anymore. Right now, you can go to a concert and experience a show with other real people inside a video game. You can walk a factory floor from your own home. You can join a meeting remotely, but be in the room to collaborate with your coworkers. Those are metaverses. The future is already here. Now, I can already hear some skepticism, but an avatar of me isn't me. My digital self is not my physical self. Well, that is technically true, but Microsoft is working to help you better represent your whole self in the digital space, while also ensuring that you can bring your humanity and your agency over that representation with you. If the past few years have taught us anything, it's that we need that flexibility. The world has never been more connected, but lately, we've often needed to distance ourselves physically. The closer we can reflect our physical selves in the digital realm, the more these barriers we can break down. Teammates can join meetings from anywhere. Real-time translation allows people from diverse cultures to collaborate in real time. This is what takes this from a cool idea to a critical one. The metaverse has the ability to stretch us beyond the barriers and limitations of the physical world.
Hopefully you get a much better picture now with the metaverse, what we're trying to talk about the metaverse and how it links.
But that's to distinguish, so what you're looking at, so in the,
If we picture there, seems like no one in the metaverse has legs.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
So that's
but that's purpose though, because that's a stepping stone for you to understand that you're in the metaverse and it's not real versus people that get into games, for example, could be there for days.
Yeah.
They're sucked into the game. They can't get out because they're intellectually and emotionally they're wrapped.
Yeah.
If you don't see legs, that that's more
That is
point.
actually the first part of the metaverse. So it came with because it's trying to improve, right? So it's the first came with like that. So now we will have that capability of holoprojection. So holoprojection is like you will see yourself in a virtual, but it's looking like you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you will have a lot of other capabilities coming in. It's just how it starts, right? So it will improve the technology day by day, and then you'll see yourself with a digital avatar, and then you'll see a digital avatar looks like you, right? But now it's actually now this avatar the avatar now is there, so it's not like
It's kind of like a VR machines you can.
Sorry?
You can use it with VR machines, whatever.
Yeah, you can connect with VR machines. I mean, you can connect like Oculus or something like that. You can connect with that. Or a HoloLens as well. The HoloLens, you'll see the mostly with the mixed reality and virtual reality as well. Yeah.
So we were in, so we're in this room and get together, right?
Yeah.
We all had HoloLens on.
Yeah.
And other people in this room.
Exactly, yeah.
We're all in the metaverse together, right?
Yeah, all metaverse. Yeah. So like if everyone is having the HoloLens now, and we have kind of a simulation or kind of a VIM or something like that running through, then we can look at and we can change it and then we can adjust it. And we can do all those stuff together as a collaborative, right? So even though we are in a different place, I imagine like we are in separate places, but you can do it together.
That's like
Right.
the audience view in Teams.
Yeah.
Exactly. Except for here.
Let's go to the next. So what are the three types of metaverse that we have? So one is actually the consumer metaverse. So that's actually enhancing the social entertainment and the well-being of experiences of individuals. Example like consumer metaverse, I can give example that would be the Minecraft. If you've played with Minecraft, yeah. So that's bringing a different experience for you, like as a consumer. So it's a gaming. So there are like one is that that Minecraft, and then the other one I can give you example like Infinity. So that's actually Infinity. There's another game called Infinity, and Roblox. I don't know whether you heard about Roblox. So that's also similar kind of thing. Yeah, so these are like consumer kind of metaverses that you have. And then you have commercial kind of metaverses that create the next generation immersive communication. So it's basically like Teams and stuff like that. So that commercial part of it. So Teams have Mesh, Microsoft Mesh and stuff like that coming in. And then you have industrial metaverses, right? Industrial metaverse will enable like humans with AI and devices together. So that's like devices like HoloLens to kind of HoloLens and stuff like that. So that's where the industrial part will come in. So let's go into the next one. So that's basically we're talking about the industrial metaverse. So this is where we're going to focus. So the industrial metaverse is about connecting digital to the physical world using the digital twin. So digital twin is another concept. So it's basically I have a physical asset. So let's say I have a probably asset, maybe a valve or something like that. So I need to get that, let's say IoT, simple case, we'll get an IoT sensor kind of a temperature kind of thing. So I have a device of temperature device, but I can create a digital twin of the representation of the same device in the digital space using the Azure twins and stuff like that. So digital twin. So when you create that digital twin, you will have that physical product as well as the digital product. And then you have a link. So if you want to track and measure all these measurements and stuff like that, so that you can see it in the digital world as well, right? Imagine if you do a smart factory kind of thing, right? So you have a smart factory, and then before you deploy a new product, you can actually run through all the processes and everything, the complex environment through, you can do that simulation kind of thing. So when you do the simulation, you know whether that product will work or not, right? Because you can run through every process and then identify best process and stuff like that, right?
Like in example, you got a car, these parts together.
Yeah.
Make them fit, and you can test it out. You go, actually, that don't fit.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
and go do it.
Exactly. Yeah. And even the best part is like even now currently as well, that what they're trying is like imagine that when you're going to buy a car, right? I mean, let's say you want to buy an SUV, right? You have a lot of options. You have like petrol cars, you have hybrid cars, or you have PHEVs, you have electric cars, something like that, right? So there's a lot of options. But what's your current experience, right? When you want to buy that, you'll go to a website or YouTube, you look at that, right? But in the future, and currently what's happening, they will give you a test drive with the VR. Yeah. So imagine like if you can do that in a website directly, connecting back to that kind of a metaverse that's creating that you can drive in a snow, you can drive in any environment condition. Before you buy, you can actually go through the VR and then feel it, and then you can buy it, or you can book a test drive, and that's done, right?
It's like a gaming.
Yeah. So that's the level it's going to come. So where the business applications will come in. So imagine if you can do that, and you can have D365 commerce website. You have the website and you directly link that, and then it's coming back to the business applications, right? All these transactions. So that's what's going to happen as far as I'm thinking. So this is how it's moving. Yeah.
The car versus all the assets within the car.
Yeah, all assets you can. It's like it depends on how you want to do it. So if you want to track every part,
Yeah.
it needs to. So usually it's an engine or something like that.
Yeah.
Then you want to track, right? And so usually it's good in kind of if you want to think about with the metaverse and stuff, because it has to be immersive as well. So if you want to think like that, it's going to be like factory. If you think of factory, you can have different devices and all those things, and then probably your production environment. So you can have all digital, all physical assets to be in the digital environment, and then simulate and see. Right. Before you deploy anything, you can simulate and see, and you can save your cost. All those things you can do.
Like a car,
Yeah.
like a body parts or somewhere, then engine or somewhere. Here, in everything in the body, painting partner. So you don't need to be a physical people won't work. It's all digital. Like
Yeah.
you create a duplicate image of the person or something.
Yeah, you can do the automation and all the robotics and all those stuff that will come in as well. So that's why I said it's not one technology. It's multiple edge Yeah, you want IoT with the 5G. So it's a lot of technology which comes into play with Metaverse. Yeah. Cool. So let's move and see that as well. Yeah. So this is where I'm talking about the key contributors. So this is what I'm thinking will be the key contributors in the future, especially like high performance compute. So that will be very critical because if you want to have a metaverse running, you need to compute it faster. So that's where the quantum computing will be coming in as well, because you need quantum computing, all those stuff. Because imagine if you want to do a search in metaverse, right? It's not going to be easy because you have a lot of data points and a lot of stuff. So that's why the quantum computing or all the enhancements will be very much critical in the future. And Web 3.0, that's where the NFT and the other parts of it, which I was discussing earlier. So why Web 3.0 is critical as well, because if you want to build an economy with the because if you talk about the Web 3.0, it will be NFT. I'll give you an example from now, NFT, and then you will have a digital wallet. You can connect to a website with Web 3.0, and then you have that digital connection there. But imagine that transactions, all these transactions should happen, right? When you purchase something, that transaction go into the blockchain, right? So imagine the same economy if you want to build in IoT. If you have IoT and if you want to build that kind of economy, that will be very critical, right? So that's where it's coming in as well. So blockchain security is going to be critical as well. And gaming is where it started, and gaming will be also key in terms of the progression of the metaverse. And governance will be critical as well. We're talking about the power platform governance and all those governance as well. So this will be a key as well in the metaverse. And Internet of Things, which I discussed earlier, and digital twins, and edge will be also key. And then obviously artificial intelligence as well. And augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality. So these are the main components as far as I think so. Maybe there are some others like automation as well, would be another part, which I think probably not, I haven't put it here. So that's another key part as well. So these technologies get together would create the metaverse, powerful. And so that's what I think, as far as I think, what I think these will be very critical in the future. All these individual components. Yeah. So I want you to help me out as well. So if you can scan this. Yeah, all good. Then I'll move to the next one. Yeah. So the next one is what are the building blocks? So IoT will be a key one that what we discussed. So thank you. Thanks. So can I get the, I mean, if you want to get a state that can create a metaverse data, so this will be really key IoT. So 5G will be very critical. So the deployment of the 5G will be very critical because that would have low latency and, faster speed and stuff like that. So that would be key, the IoT. And the digital twin, which with Azure, you can do digital twin currently. So you can create a digital for the physical asset, you can create a digital asset as well in the Azure digital twin. So that will be key in terms of building blocks. And the automation, which we discussed earlier, the automation as well. Automation is key as well because you can automate all the. So when you design your like plant or a manufacturing plant, then you can automate part of these stuff based on this because you can do the automation as well, right? And the AR, VR, and MR will be a key, and the blockchain will be key as well, and the use cases as well. So that's where will be key. So development in terms of AR and VR and the MR, like especially like HoloLens, stuff like that. So HoloLens is key here in terms of Microsoft. What Microsoft is practicing on the developing on the on this aspect. So that HoloLens is key. And the blockchain will be key as well for the future, and the use cases as well. Okay. So that's where the building blocks. So these are the key building blocks which is needed in terms of building a good metaverse in the future, right? So the enhancement of all the individual area technologies will be key apart from the use cases, because you need to have good use case to use it, like what I was explaining earlier, like with the cars, what kind of experience you can get. So the customer experience will be different in the future, right? So if you think about how you have meetings now, might change in the future because if you're probably having a meeting with like using Teams, but you can have now you have Microsoft Mesh and stuff like that. And then you might get into that holoportation scenarios in the future, right? So you can see face to face with the holoportation, right? So that's going to be a different in the future, because yeah, so it's also comes back to the AR, VR, MR adaptation as well, how the devices will improve, how the cost will go down. Because if the cost go down, it will make it easier for you to buy. So it's going to be general, right? It's like a mobile phone, right? When you get the cost down as well. So improvement on these devices will be key as well for the future. So there's a lot of things happening in the industry, improving all these aspects. So once these aspects come into the level, that the adoption will go up as well. So initially, industry would be much easier to adapt, but later on, it might come to the to our general use as well. Yeah.
Saving budgets and money, eventually. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
All the time building all that, and then some people are sort of anti-blockchain because of how much energy it's used and that kind of thing.
Right.
But then, what's your take there? Because I watched an exhibition about NFT the other day, and they said that actually one post on social media or that kind of thing can cost much more money than actually the blockchains.
Yeah. So it depends on how you adapt it. Whether you have a private blockchain or a public blockchain. So whether you want to which one you're going to use, right? And then what is the use case? That's why the use case is very important as well, because it's worthwhile to use the blockchain in that situation or not, right? If it's not worthwhile, then you're not going to use that blockchain concept in it, but you will have the rest of it with the immersive experience, right? So again, yeah, what you're saying is true as well. So it depends on the situation. Like if it's really costly for run, whether you're having a public or a private, it depends as well. Yeah, Hamish has a question.
Would you have a metaverse without blockchain?
You can have metaverse without blockchain, yes, because it's just the metaverse is basically immersive experience. So you can have immersive experience without the blockchain. Yeah, because the example I gave earlier, it doesn't have any blockchain, because just you will have the use case of like if you have the test drive within a VR, so you don't need to have a blockchain for that. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's why the use case is very important. Where are you using it? Why are you using it? Yeah. Yeah. So I'll come to the essential for the metaverse ready business applications. What we need to have for the metaverse ready business applications like ERP or CRM. So what are the key drivers here? So I put it MR, AR, VR. So that's basically the how easy we can integrate with these business applications with these devices will be key. Because we need to easily integrate with these devices to get those transactions back to ERP or CRM, depending on your use case. Right? So that's going to be key, and where Microsoft sits is very, very good as well. And I don't know, I'll have to ask a question as well, like who got the most patents in the metaverse currently? Which company? If anyone knows, let me know. Yeah. So it's actually Microsoft, got 152 patents currently. So they sits number one. So Microsoft is placed well in this space because of their research in the especially in the HoloLens and the metaverse related, like Microsoft Mesh and stuff like that. So they place very well in this. So that's why it's key as well. So what Microsoft is doing is correct as far as I'm thinking, because they are in the right track. And then AI is also going to be key as well. So because definitely you need to have AI inside the metaverse, and that's why the Power Platform with low code, no code situation is very handy, because you can drive all those AI stuff as well. And I'll get into some of the examples, like some of the products that we have currently. So when we come into the products that we can see how currently Microsoft is using that. Like if you heard about the DC, the connected space. So I'll come into that, and we can discuss further on that. And the security will be key, because if you think about security, that will be a critical factor as well in the metaverse, because you're gonna open up a lot of data points, and you need to secure your data, and you need to make sure that you have a correct security and governance in place, right? Yeah. So that would be key. And then flexibility, how easy, how fast we can do it, because if you're taking 2, 3, 4 months, 5 months to deploy, you will not have, in terms of developing a simple solution, if you take like 6 months, 7 months, or 1 year, it's going to be too much, right? How flexible your solutions, like how fast you can deploy these solutions. Like if you think about the D365 guides, so guides is very fast. Like you can quickly deploy, and you can make sure that you have a training solutions for some of the technicians and stuff like that, so you can have that guides created, right? So example like that. But in the future it needs to have a lot of flexibility. So these are the key factors that when we are talking about the business applications, what we need to have in order to be Metaverse ready. And then performance is also a key factor, because it has to process a lot of data points. So that's why the cloud computing, the quantum computing, which I was telling earlier, but cloud computing will be key first, and then quantum computing will come in whenever it's very complex, large data sets. And then will be key on the scalability. So how scalable those systems, and IoT as well. IoT will be key as well, as I discussed earlier, and the governance and the blockchain. So these are key, but doesn't mean that you need to have everything for certain solutions. But these are key in order to develop and deploy some solutions, because some of the cases you might need blockchain, but some of the cases you certainly would not need any blockchain at all, right? And same, but mostly the IoT will be key, because usually we'll have the IoT, and so usual case is in order to be a Metaverse, you need to have a digital twin kind of stuff, as well as immersiveness. So in the industrial Metaverse, you would most of the time you might see the IoT will be there, but certainly blockchain come into some parts of it, but not every solutions. Yeah. So that's mostly on that. And let's get into some of the existing products which Microsoft have. So this is one of them, D365 Connected Spaces, which is in preview now. And so basically you can bring your own cameras. So that means if you have your cameras, you can set it up. Basically, so if you have a store with all those cameras and stuff like that already, so you can actually bring your own cameras to this solution. And then you can configure AI-powered skills as well. So basically, if you think about the retail store, you have network cameras, and then you have an Azure Stack Edge gateway, and then you're connecting back to the Azure Cloud Service. And then from Cloud Service, then you have a web app that's Connected Spaces. And then if you see the data storage, actually that's in the Microsoft Dataverse. So that's what it is currently. And also, it's very easy to connect with the Power Platform. So if you want to get like notifications and stuff like that, you can quickly run through the Power Platform and get notified. Certain conditions you can put it in, like certain triggers, like stuff like that. So like example, like if you have a high queue or low queue and stuff like that. So if you can see like there's a high queue based on, because the cameras will have these AI running in and then detect all those data points. And then you can get those feedback with the Power Platform as well. And then you can get the actions. You can do the actions as well. So that's what currently there. So it's actually in the preview. So this is one of the Metaverse solutions. You can see what Microsoft have currently. Yeah. And then the other one is a Microsoft Mesh for Teams. So this is basically on the Mesh, Microsoft Mesh for Teams and the whole Microsoft HoloLens. So if you see the HoloLens, the upper top, the right side is actually the holoportation, which I was discussing. So if you see the same guy was right side and then here as well. So it's actually using so you were talking about the avatar. So avatar would look like here, but that's without the legs, but this is the holoportation. Yeah. Yeah.
Not yet. Some prices and explains.
Yeah. So that's how the holoportation will also come into picture. And you can customize. I mean, the what currently available. I mean, this Microsoft HoloLens is HoloLens 2. I think the Holo protection is still there. But in terms of Microsoft Mesh for Teams, I don't think it's there. It's just the avatar currently, I guess. And virtual reality and augmented reality. So got the capability of transforming. So that's where it sits now. But I believe there will be a lot of improvements happening in this space. Yeah. Yeah, and then the remote assist. So the remote assist is basically it'll give you the remote inspections, like kind of empower on-site inspectors and collaborate with remote inspectors to if you want to evaluate stuff like that. And you have collaborative maintenance and repair. So that's basically empowering technicians and to solve problems faster first time. And then you have knowledge sharing and training. That's actually document repair via photos and videos and stuff like that. So basically, this is why remote assist is another aspect that you can bring in technicians and then solve your problem. Example like wind industry. Like if you see, it's going to be really costly if you want to fly somebody to fix that. So that is actually currently using as well. So if you want to repair these wind turbines and stuff like that, you can get the technician in with via the remote assist. So that would save a lot of cost, traveling, time, and everything, right? So that's why that is important, and the oil industry as well. So if you think about oil industry, wind, this will be very critical as well, and general field technician field service as well. But it depends on the scenario if it's really critical, or I mean, depending on what your solution, what your use case. But generally, for the wind turbine, it's a good use case, right? But there will be some other use cases coming up. But this is what's available. But when the technology enhances, that the application will be more wide. Yeah. And so I have another video. Let's look at this.
2. Access the menu on your hand, move between activities, use the call feature, interact with touch and hands-free simultaneously. Access the menu on your hand.
So these are the options. What
the menu is always available with a quick hand gesture and disappears when not in use. But you can still do your work without it getting in your way. The menu will only appear if you intentionally bring your hand up and look at your palm. You can activate and interact with the menu using one hand or two. The menu will attach to either hand. It's accessible no matter what situation you're in. Move between activities. The main menu lets you access your activities with touch. You can access all of your guides or touch to call a remote collaborator. Use the call feature. The remote collaborator answers the call using Microsoft Teams and can see everything that you see on your HoloLens. On the call, you can use the call controls to turn the video feed off or on, to mute or unmute yourself, or to end the call. When in a call, the menu can be minimized with a touch and easily brought back. The call window doesn't follow you around in your environment, which keeps your world free of holographic clutter. You can quickly access the call window in a new location by bringing up the menu and selecting the call activity again. Interact with touch and hands-free simultaneously. You can position the window anywhere you want by grabbing the edges. The touch capabilities make it easy to search and navigate lists so that your information is always at your fingertips. You can switch between the trusted hands-free guides experience, like gaze or voice commands, and the touch capabilities.
So imagine you can also apply, like if you have a manufacturing plant and if you have a new employees onboarding, certainly you can use this, right? And I think with the advancements of the technology, you can feel as well, like if you move, wrongly and stuff like that, you can feel it probably with the, with the devices. So like, with the move of, as well. So I mean, the technology can improve as well. So once the technology improves, you will feel it's like a real kind of a scenario that you're playing and collaborating. It's not only you, because you can have like 5 or 6 people working with you to solve get trained or solve a thing. So it depends on what use cases you have, but this will be very critical as well. Like this is currently what's there. Yeah.
Imagine that integrated with Sales Viva or one of the
Yeah.
Dynamics 365 CE apps for a salesperson going into a meeting or something, being able to see
Yeah.
data.
Yeah.
They never have an excuse not to use the system again.
Yeah, there will be some excuse, right? Yeah. So, but I think you're getting what I'm trying to say. What are the options that we have in the metaverse currently? Yeah. And let's see on the next. So that's the Dynamics 365 guide. So you I think as currently as well, you have the capability of using with field service integration and also supply chain management integration as well. So that's key. So Dynamics 365 guides currently have that. So you can create that guides with the field service as well as supply chain management as well. Yeah. 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 So for the technician, I mean, if you want to train them, if you have a
You
new,
don't need a physical person.
yeah, exactly. You don't need a physical person. You will have a guided tour, right, on the training, right?
So only for digital tools.
No, it's not. It's not digital twin. It's just that in a kind of VR kind of AR environment, augmented environment, and you just have a simulation, and then you run through all these steps, and then you complete, and then you get trained on that. Yeah. So it can be applicable for supply chain or the field service. Yeah. Yeah. There will be a guide on like which part you need to. If you're fixing an engine, which part you need to put A, B, C, so that will guide you which parts, and so you can see, you can move around these. So that's why I said like you move a wrong one and you want to feel as a real, real indication whether you did the wrong thing or right thing. So those kind of things will come in as well. But now I don't think that's there. But you can definitely do that moves and stuff like that. You can move and then you can see. That's a guided one, so you can see which step you need to complete in order to go. So all these things will be there. It's easier for you, and then you can track as well all those information as well, whether they did it successfully and all the stuff. So so that's what the guided one. Yeah.
People that speed is ahead of the game.
Sorry, which one?
With the metaverse is speed delivering at speed.
Yeah. Speed, exactly.
Yeah.
Speed and the quality as well, like.
Yeah,
And the images of the quality, just
Java
how much
great.
pixels, like, when you expand it, how much pixels you can see. So that will be critical as the quality and the speed. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Sorry, but we just.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah.
So.
Sure. Yeah, so I'll quickly run through, take 1-2 minutes on. So we have D365 field service, so asset management, preventive maintenance, connected field service, pairing, D365 remote assist with FS. And then also Power Platform part, you have mixed reality currently. And then you have Power BI, you have a scan a QR code, that's augmented reality. So that will be important as well in the future when you're in the metaverse kind of thing. You can see different graphics, graphics in say the charts and all the spy charts and stuff like that. You can see with the, that the technology is there. So that's good. And supply chain management, we have sensor data intelligence, which is in preview. So that's also going to be critical for the metaverse in the future. And D365 guide integration, so is there. Yeah. So that's there for the metaverse. And so the digital twin, I think I've explained on the digital twin part. This is kind of examples which I can quickly show. So that's, I think if you see the, so recently on the, I think we've seen this this is actually a factory basically. So if you see all those factories, that's kind of a simulation, and then you can see, it's good for the environment as well. So you can see how much carbon dioxide and all the stuff, the consumption. So you can sustainability, all those stuff. This is kind of an environment that you will see with the metaverse. So you can see that with the physical and the digital world together. Yeah.
Example.
Yeah, I'll quickly go through. I don't go through the video. I think we don't have time, so I'll just quickly go through this just to show. This is kind of example, so I can give that. So all combined together. So with ERP, with other data and stuff like that. So this is we have retail data, shipping data, financial reports, IoT data, all in one place, right? So this is all combining together, right? So that's where it's gonna go. It will go. Yeah. All good. So yeah, that's it from me today. Thank you.